What's up, guys? Welcome back. It's been a while since I made a sandwich for you guys, and I decided I want to make my all-time favorite. Today, I'm going to show you how to make the best chicken parm sandwich you've ever had in your life. Meet me in the kitchen. Let's make it happen.
Cheers, folks.
Here we go. Yeah.
Everything about it.
Yeah. The buttery toast, chicken,
Oh, that's good.
cheese,
You make this for me, I'm spending the night.
cheese pull.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
All right, guys, so if you're a real foodie, this video is just for you. You're getting not one, not two, maybe 3 or 4 solid recipes today. I'm going to show you how to make the best marinara sauce, perfect chicken parm, and basically a garlic bread recipe too, all in one video to make one of the best sandwiches you ever had. First things first, we're going to dice up an onion and some garlic to get started on our sauce. Basically like a marinara sauce. You want to get you some San Marzano tomatoes if you can find them. They're great quality, really delicious, naturally sweet. We're going to dice up this onion. We only need half of an onion for this recipe. I'll put this other half in the fridge for something else. Half of an onion and a few cloves of garlic. Give it a smash. Dice it up. And then we'll get that in our skillet with some olive oil and then hand crush our San Marzano tomatoes. All right, my friends, let's talk tomatoes. Now, at the grocery store, there are some cheap options and they usually aren't the best, right? You get what you pay for, particularly when it comes to tomatoes. Now, San Marzano, excellent quality tomatoes. It's a region that they come from. They grow really, think about wine, right? Like great wines come from certain regions. Same goes for tomatoes. It's just the conditions in which they're grown. These are naturally sweet. You shouldn't have to add much sugar, if any at all, to this. And just the way that they process them too. So what I'm gonna do is get in there with my hands and just hand crush these. And then we're gonna cook them down until they reduce and come together nicely. We're gonna saute some onions, some garlic, add this in, and just give it like an hour or two to really cook down. You could do this in bulk and freeze it, or just keep it in the fridge. If you make pasta or use marinara sauce, you know, more than once or twice a week, it's a good idea. My favorite way to do it is to do this and then vacuum seal it and freeze it in bulk. First things first, we're going in with 2 tablespoons of olive oil. Then we're going to sweat down the onion and the garlic. You want to do this before it gets super hot. You want to infuse the olive oil with that flavor and gently saute the onions and the garlic. Get all of that in there. Just work it around. Good quality olive oil is key here as well. I just want to just give this about 3 to 5 minutes, and then we'll add in our tomato products. I also like to go in with a good heaping tablespoon, maybe even 2 tablespoons of tomato paste. We're going to work that into the onions and garlic and then add in our crushed San Marzano tomatoes. Next up, we're going to add a pinch of salt, maybe 2 pinches if you're feeling frisky. And then we're going in with some crushed red pepper flakes, just a pinch. This is optional. If you don't want any spice, leave this out completely. I like a little background note of spice in mine. And then we're going with a nice teaspoon of dried oregano. Fresh oregano if you have it. If not, dried will get the job done. So we're going to get that in there. Immediately your house is smelling good. That oregano and the garlic and the onions just, you know, definitely perfume the air a bit. And then 2 tablespoons of tomato paste. The tomato paste is going to get add some concentrated tomato flavor, and it's also going to help with the consistency. It's going to thicken up the sauce overall a bit. Add a nice vibrant color too. Once we got that going, in goes the crushed tomatoes. This right here is going to be better than anything you get from the store. However, if you stay tuned, I'm going to show you what I would get if I were to just to buy a jar off the shelf from the grocery store. All right, guys, while our homemade sauce simmers and comes together, let's talk about store-bought sauce. Now, one of the more common, kind of more budget-friendly, generic, so to speak, brands is Classico. You can get this pretty cheap at the grocery store. It's not a horrible product, but it's not something that I would personally reach for. And that's because if you look at the ingredient statement, it pales in comparison to Rao's. So the first ingredient here is tomato puree, and then it has diced tomatoes in juice, a bunch of other, I would call BS ingredients in here. If you look at Rayo's, the very first ingredient here is whole peeled tomatoes. That's a great sign. Second ingredient is olive oil. All high quality ingredients, no filler, no BS. Whole peeled tomatoes, olive oil, onions, basil, salt, garlic, pepper, oregano. Basically what we just put in there. So they're doing it the right way. It's a little bit more expensive, but you get what you pay for. So let's do a quick little taste test. You can just see the consistency here is not, it's kind of thin. It looks like a bad tomato soup. That tastes like, honestly, you know what it tastes like? It tastes like the pizza sauce that comes in the Lunchable packet. That's kind of what that tastes like. This here is chunky. You can see actual herbs in here. You can see pieces of actual tomato. You can see real basil. And in return, you get real flavor. That's good. I could eat that just like that. So if you're gonna take the shortcut, spend a couple extra bucks and get you a good product. Not a sponsor at all, just giving you guys some advice. All right, guys, so for the chicken parm, what you wanna do is take a whole chicken breast, or you can buy them at the store already thin sliced. Those usually cost a little bit more because there's some more manual labor involved at the butcher counter. But when you get home with a whole chicken breast, I'm gonna show you guys how to butterfly. It's super easy. Just take a nice sharp knife, go to the thicker side of the chicken breast, hand flat on top, and just make a little cut right down the middle. And then you can use your fingers as a guide. Obviously protect them, keep them away from the sharp blade. But we're gonna just butterfly them open like so. And then we're gonna lay some saran wrap over top of them and flatten them out nice and even. All right, guys, so if you don't have a rubber mallet or something like that, a meat tenderizer, you can use the flat end of a rolling pin, as you see me do right here, to flatten these out. You want them nice and even, that way they fry evenly. Once you do that, it's time to season them up. So I'm gonna go down with my all-purpose seasoning. You could also just use a little salt and pepper if you don't have this, or use whatever your favorite all-purpose seasoning is. Nice even layer. Always season from up high, that way you get good surface area coverage. And then we're going down with my brand new buttery garlic pepper seasoning. If you haven't tried that yet, you can get yours at mrmakeithappen.com, where you can also find all the specific measurements and ingredients for this recipe. So nice even layer of both of those. Flip them over and show the other side some love. And then we'll be ready to bread these and fry these to make our sandwich. Now for the bread component of the sandwich, we got to add some flavor to that too, right? So we have 1 stick of room temperature butter. To that, we're going to add some garlic, some buttery garlic pepper seasoning, and a little parsley. Basically making like a little compound garlic butter, essentially making garlic bread, which is going to be the foundation for our sandwich. So real simple, guys. Room temperature butter is key. That way it's easy to fold everything in. In goes the garlic, heaping tablespoon of that. Seasoning, again, you can use whatever seasoning you like. This buttery garlic pepper obviously is going to work really well for garlic butter. They all make sense together. A good tablespoon or so of parsley, and then just give that a mix. We're going to slather that on top of the bread and get that in the oven before we assemble our sandwich. Next up, it's time to bread the chicken. So we have our perfectly seasoned flattened chicken breast. We're going straight into the seasoned all-purpose flour first. Get a nice coat of flour, and then we're going into our egg wash. Knock off the excess egg wash into the breadcrumb mixture, and then we're going to go into some 350-degree oil. All right, people, time for the fun part. The oil is up to 350 degrees. Our chicken is adequately breaded, and now, my friends, it is time to fry until golden brown perfection is achieved. And then once we get the color we're looking for, we're going to add it to this wire rack here, allow the excess grease to drip and drain. We're going to hit it with some cheese, pop it in the oven, and then it's going to be time to assemble our sandwich. All right, guys, once the chicken is nice and golden brown and beautiful, 165 degrees internal temperature is what we're shooting for. I'm going to hit with a little sprinkle of fresh Parmesan cheese, as you see, and then some fresh mozzarella. We're going to pop that in a 400-degree oven until the mozzarella cheese melts. And then we're going to assemble our sandwich by adding a little more cheese, because why the hell not? We're here for a good time, not a long time. A little more cheese on the bread, a little sauce, assemble the sandwich, and you have the best damn chicken parm sandwich you ever had in your life. Money back guarantee. Mozzarella, Parmesan, fried chicken into the oven. All right, guys, the last step here is to go ahead and make sure the cheese is browned up and melted. Now we're gonna go ahead and cut our chicken. That way it fits nicely onto our sandwich. I'm gonna pile it high too, cause I mean, who wants a skimp chicken parm sandwich? And then we're gonna pop it back in the oven one final time just to make sure everything kind of marries together. And then we're gonna have a chicken parm feast. Quick reminder, guys, all the specific measurements and ingredients for this recipe can be found at MrMakeItHappen.com. All right, guys, the sandwich is out of the oven. It's time to go ahead and give it the taste test. We're gonna pair it up with a side of that homemade marinara that we made. This is the part where I say, brace yourself for a trademark money shot. Say it with me, guys, looking good. The only thing left to do is dig in for the taste test. But before we do that, please take a quick second to subscribe to the channel. Make sure you hit that bell to enable notifications as well. Here we go.